Welcome back, License Ready crew. Today we are tackling a beast that has given many foreign trained professionals a headache: the NDAEB Dental Assistant Coursework Reports. But don't worry, you are not just surviving it, you are slaying it with confidence and just the right amount of dental humor. This form will not bite, but if you ignore it, it may delay your exams faster than plaque builds on a sugar tooth. Here is what you need to know. This form is mandatory if you're a foreign trained dentist and if you want to take the NDAEB written exams and eventually the CPE. It helps the NDAEB understand what you learned abroad and whether it matches the Canadian intraoral competencies. This isn't just paperwork, it is your passport to eligibility. You can download the Dental Assistant Coursework Report on the NDAEB website under the document library. What do you need to start? You will need the latest Dental Assistant Coursework Reports. The link is in the description box. Your official transcript must be in English or French. Your credential report or your NDEB confirmation, proof of your name change if applicable, a pen, lots of patience.
To fill out the Dental Assistant Coursework Report, the first page of the form is a checklist. The checklist is just to help you avoid making mistakes. It includes the amount you paid in bank draft, the original reports, you just check whichever applied. If you use an NDEB examination board confirmation, go ahead. Certified true copies of your academic transcript and diploma, you fill it there. Your completed and signed dental assistant course reports, program survey requirements if you used it, a signed consent for personal information, and a proof of name change. This is the first page of the Dental Assisting Coursework Report. You fill out your personal information, use your legal name as shown on your ID and on your transcript. If names don't match, check the box and submit proof. Example, your marriage certificate or an affidavit of name change, which is what we will do here. Then we move to your personal information, contact information, email address, mailing address, and then your international credential agency that was used. You check all that applies. Now we move to the next section, which is academic or education information. In this part of the form, you list your certificate or diploma, the country where you obtained it, issuing institution, the date, the length of the program, and then the entrance requirements. For example, if it's a high school diploma, you check all the boxes that apply on this side, and then you list out the title of the course where you did all that you checked. For example, apply the principles of ethics, including self-reflection, as to personal competence to perform assigned legal duties. Where did you do this? You read all that applies, explain treatment to patients and or caregivers, and respond to questions to help resolve concerns in accordance with the principles of obtaining informed consent. You check all that applies, and then you list where you actually did this. Oral surgery and pathology, and then you list the document where the course is listed. It is listed in the transcript of academic records. The year it was completed, 2009 or 2015, 2020, as the case applies. You continue to section number 2 of the same form. You check all the boxes that applied, everything you were taught in school, down to tooth development and eruption, oral pathology, microbiology, pharmacology. You list the title of the courses where you took all of that. You checked anatomy, oral biology, pathology, pharmacology, oral surgery, and pathology. This can be found in the transcript of academic records and the year it was completed. You do the same again in number 3. You continue, you check all that applies, and you list the course titles, the documents, and the year it was completed. You do everything all down to the end of the form. You check and you list. You list the title of the courses, practice management procedure, you check all that applies, and you list them out. Same continues down to the competences. You list them all and you list the course title. Now we move to the in-office practicum or externship experience. It is important that you list this because it helps the NDAEB know if you have supervised clinical experience working on real patients using intraoral skills, either in a dental setting like a hospital, dental clinic, or a teaching hospital. Answer like this. 1. Talk about the setting. Where did your externship take place? Name the clinic, the hospital, or training center. For example, I completed my externship or I completed my office practicum at dental department, license ready with Orly Teaching Hospital. You go ahead and tell them how long, the duration, how long was it, state how many months or weeks or years that you applied. For example, it lasted 6 weeks, about 120 hours in total. Supervision, was it under the supervision of licensed dentists or instructors? For example, I was supervised by licensed dentists and instructors throughout the practicum. Next step, skills performed. What kind of procedure did you assist or perform? Highlight intraoral skills and mandatory CPE skills. Equipment used. Mention any relevant tools or equipment or digital systems that you used. If your program did not not include an internship, you can say my program was academic based and didn't include a formal internship. I will leave an example of what you can write on this. I have an example here. I completed my in-office practicum at Oli Dental Clinic affiliated with License Ready with Oli University Teaching Hospital. The practicum lasted 8 weeks with 30 hours per week of hands-on clinical experience under the supervision of licensed dentists. I assisted in procedures such as dental radiography, coronal polishing, matrix band placement, and taking impressions. I worked with actual patients, maintained their records, and followed strict infection control protocols. I also gained experience using digital dental system and chairside assistant for restorative and surgical cases. At the end of the form, you will find this document, the program survey requirements. As a foreign trained dentist, you do not need to complete this part of the form. The last part of the form is the consent for personal information. You read through this right up here, and at the end, it requires you to confirm if you give your consent or if you do not. You append your signature, your date, and your printed name. With this, we have come to the end of completing this form.
To accompany your dental assisting coursework report, there are important forms that you must not forget. 1. The candidate declaration form. It must be hand-signed. The consent for personal information, also hand-signed. No electronic signatures. And you will need a program survey form only if you are not a dentist. Now it is time to submit your documents. Send the dental assisting coursework report and your transcripts and notarized documents. Send it to the NDAEB. Emails are not accepted, so send by mail. Send it at least 2 weeks before the exam deadline. NDAEB will notify you if anything is missing. Because on this channel, License Ready with Oli, you are part of my community. I will leave you with 10 tips you must avoid. 1. Mismatch between checked boxes and your transcript courses. 2. Incomplete or vague course titles. 3. Electronically signed documents. These are not allowed. Hand sign them. 4. Name mismatch without proof. You have to provide evidence of name change. 5. Your handwriting is not clear. Use block letters. 6. Sending original documents instead of notarized copies. 7. Submitting close to the deadline. 8. Using West USA instead of West Canada. 9. Claiming intraoral skills when you were only observing, you did not perform. Nice try. 10. Forgetting the program survey form, that is, if you're not a dentist. And listen, this paperwork may be too long, but so is your purpose. You've got the skills, the calling, and now the checklist. So while others scroll, you sew. While others stall, you study. Now go ahead, binge my previous video, whether it is preparing for the NDAEB written exams or launching your journey as a CDA in Canada. It's all waiting for you. Your license isn't just coming, it is loading. Remember, here on License Ready with Oli, we turn setbacks into setups and we turn red tapes into red carpets. See you on the next one, and don't let this form be the reason your fire fizzles out.